The Dimensional Shamblers, a mystery that defies the fragile grasp of mortal understanding. Few who have encountered these creatures have lived to describe them in any coherent detail, and those who do speak of them are often driven to madness. They are hunched, loathsome figures, their bodies covered in tight, grey, mummy-like skin that clings to them like the grey wrappings of some long-forgotten corpse. Their heads, disturbingly malformed, bear a mixture of ape-like and canine features, their crooked fangs stained with the filth of otherworldly prey. Deep within their recessed eye sockets glow sickly, yellow slits, their gaze piercing beyond the realms of sanity, and their long, sinewy arms end in wicked claws, capable of tearing through the veil between worlds. Though they may appear as material beings, these creatures are anything but. They exist in a state of flux, straddling the line between dimensions, and are as untouchable to us as the fleeting nightmares that dissolve upon waking. The Shamblers possess powers that render them almost invincible to those bound by the laws of our reality. Their most insidious ability lies in their capacity to walk between planes of existence, slipping from world to world, with an ease that mocks the efforts of even the most adept sorcerers. They do not traverse physical space in the manner of men, but rather fold reality around them, vanishing from one point only to materialize at another, as though the space between them had never existed. When they hunt, it is not with mere claws or fangs, but with a form of hypnosis, so profound that it can warp the victim's perception of reality. Once they have fixed their gaze upon a target, the boundaries of our world begin to erode, giving way to the nightmarish vista of their own dimension. It is in this moment of dizzying transition that they strike, dragging their prey into the yawning abyss from which few ever return. Only the strongest of wills can resist this mental assault, and even then, the struggle is often in vain, for a shambler can summon others of its kind with ease, overwhelming even the stoutest minds with sheer numbers. The Shamblers originate from a dimension as repellent as the creatures themselves, a realm of endless desolation where time and space lose all meaning. It is said that this place is a vast, grey plain, oozing and undulating beneath skies filled with the writhing fumes of hell itself. These vapors twist and churn like a million ghostly distorted dragons, forever locked in a grotesque dance of malice and despair. In this hellscape, the Dimensional Shamblers move freely, hunting in packs, their numbers seemingly without limit. Humans who are unfortunate enough to be dragged into this forsaken place are doomed to an unspeakable fate. They sink slowly into the viscous grey ooze that coats the landscape, their bodies becoming ensnared, while their minds and souls are devoured by the lurking Shamblers. Here, death is not a release, but the soul is consumed, piece by piece, torn apart by beings who know no mercy, no pity, only the endless hunger for more victims. Though they hail from a different dimension, the presence of the Dimensional Shamblers leaves a lasting scar upon our world. When they are summoned, whether by arcane spell or sheer force of will, reality itself begins to fray at the edges. Their mere proximity is enough to unnerve even the most hardened minds. They exude an aura of alien wrongness, a sense that reality itself is unraveling in their presence. And when they claim a victim, it is not only the person who is lost. The very fabric of our world seems to tear away, leaving behind a faint echo of this hellish dimension from which they came. Over time, the places where Shamblers have walked become tainted, marked by an invisible stain that festers in the minds of those who dwell nearby. There is no terror quite like that which the Dimensional Shambler inspires, but it is not merely the fear of death or pain, but the dread of existence, unraveling at the seams. To encounter one is to feel the very structure of your soul being drawn toward an incomprehensible abyss, an emptiness, where time and matter dissolve into formless, ceaseless horror. In the depths of night, when shadows flicker in ways they should not, one might glimpse that hunched, grey figure lurking just beyond the veil of perception. It is then that true fear sets in, the knowledge that these creatures, these hunters from beyond, could step through at any moment, shattering the barrier that separates us from the madness of their realm. One must wonder, in sleepless hours, if they are watching, even now, their eyes gleaming from the endless grey plains, waiting for the moment when reality will fray just enough to let them in.